One voice, one move, one spark. You were born to leave your mark.
Hey guys, welcome back to 31 Days, 31 Questions, where I ask a question each day and I answer it, and then I hand the mic over or the phone over to speak to someone who I admire, who inspires me, or who just is an all-around amazing human being. And today, the question that's coming is, when did you first realize your voice mattered? Honestly, I wish I could say that I knew from the start that my voice mattered, but it didn't. I didn't feel that way. It wasn't until I turned around 50 and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start speaking up and speaking what I want into my life instead of letting everybody else dictate how my life's supposed to be. And so with that, I kind of just started doing things without telling people first. And because whenever I would tell somebody that I was doing something, they would put a little bit of fear or whatever in my ear, and then I would be going, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do it. Like, for instance, the very first time I ever went ziplining, in the past, whenever I would mention ziplining, a relative would say, oh, I wouldn't do that. And it would like put fear in me because there would part little doubts in my mind. Like, for instance, oh, what happens if the brake fails? What happens if all these little doubts about what happens if the line breaks, what happens if you fall, what happens if you slip out of your harness and stuff like that. So I stopped telling people what I was doing and I just did it, and I lived so much happier. But I also say right now during this time that our voice does matter. When we speak up about injustice, our voice matters. I literally have this hat on that says make racism wrong again, because this country right now has gotten so full of hatred and me being a wife of an immigrant, I feel like I need to set people straight about immigration process isn't as easy as most people think it is. First of all, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to just even get the paperwork through. There's no guarantee. You're paying these fees and there's no guarantee. And then you have to go every 10 years to renew your green card. And then you have to, and even if you have all the right paperwork, there still could be somebody at the border that says, nope, you don't have enough money, or nope, and unfortunately there are government officials that will take bribes, and if you don't bribe them, they're not going to let you cross the border. It's just how it is. So I feel like right now my voice matters because I need to share the side that most people don't know about, as how, immigration system is broken. We need immigration reform in this country, but we need a better way than what they're doing now about it. I really honestly think that if they were going after, and I know I'm making this political, but this is my life, basically. I know if they were going after criminals, then we would see all these drug busts. They would share all these people. And you see all these guns. If they were going after gun dealers, you would see all the guns. You would see the amount of money that they collected. But they don't have that. So they're going after innocent people who are here undocumented. They're not illegal, because no person can be illegal. And they're undocumented, which is a misdemeanor. It's not a criminal. And let me tell you something right now, guys, and I know I'm getting a little bit on soapbox because my voice does matter, is most of the ones that you're saying, oh, they're getting free healthcare, free childcare, free this, free that. No, they're not. They're not getting that. If the child is born in the U.S., 100% they get that because they're a U.S. citizen. But if the parents are born outside this country and they're here undocumented, then they're not going to want any kind of paperwork. So think about that, guys. Use some common sense, because living on the side that I live, I see things. And once we start having conversations with each other is when we realize things matter. Now, today, I'm throwing the mic over to someone who we just hit it off. We actually were met through the She Speaks community. I mentioned Susie a couple of days ago about She Speaks. Amy was someone I knew. She was coming from Goldsboro, and I was so excited to finally get to meet her. And we sat together during She Speaks. Our hotel rooms were right down from the hallway from each other. She even showed up at my mom's visitation when my mom passed away. So without further ado, I will share Amy with you.
Hey everybody, my name's Amy Mewburn, and I am sitting at the kitchen table just responding back to a question. The question was about when did I know that my voice mattered? And I think a couple of times have been significant. The first one has to deal with when I was going through my divorce. And I think for me, that was really the first time I recognized that my voice mattered, especially when I left my husband. That was a big time in my life when I don't really even think I recognized that I didn't have a voice before that. But it was when I pulled out of the marriage and I realized how what I thought about myself mattered. So my internal voice mattered. And then hearing also the things that he said about me also made me realize that my voice did matter about myself. And I think a second time is when my voice mattered is it's the first time that one of my short stories got published. I've had 4 published in Chicken Soup for the Soul. Different books that they've had over the last few years. And I never thought that anything I ever wrote could make an impact. I never thought that my voice would be heard, especially by a national brand like Chicken Soup for the Soul. So that is really, I think, the second time that I felt like my voice made an impact as well as was being heard. So I hope that's a answer that some of y'all can think about, and maybe you're going through something and you don't know if your voice is being heard. So maybe that's a couple of times that you can find some inspiration in when your voice is being heard. Have a great one.